We've been making a lot of pastoral phone calls to the congregation over these weeks to check on you and see how you're doing. And one of the things that has come up more than anything else has been just the different trials that families and roommates are going through at home under this shutdown. Just being in the same place together without any outlet, any way to get outside and to blow off steam. There are more dishes to do together. There are the same amount of toys as there were before, but now more minutes to fight over them. That kids are home being schooled by parents that weren't planning on doing so. There's just a little more conflict in the home, and we can get on each other's nerves and get tried a little more. In both the letters to Ephesus and Colossae, when Paul is writing to them, he's talking to the saints there, and in both of those letters, he ends them with what are called the household passages, where he speaks to husbands and wives and children in the home. And there's a reason for that. Is because when we're home, we're to shine forth the character of Christ. And it's at home that we're most tried and tested in that. Because it's there that we let our hair down, if you have hair. It's there that we're the most comfortable. It's there that we spend the most time, especially right now. And I want to, as a husband, as a father, to seize this opportunity. The Lord is working in me, and He's working through me. He's working in you, and He's working through you. And I want to get to the other side of this shutdown and be able to look back and say, you know what, I seized the opportunity, and these are the ways that I grew in my sanctification for the glory of God. I don't want to look back and think, I'm glad that's over with and we're through it, and that's the only lesson. There are things I need to work on. If you think about the fruit of the Spirit, I think we could all say in our family relationships, we can see the need to work on these things. Love, joy, peace, patience, and we could go on. Any of those need some areas of growth in your life? They do in my life. Paul says this in Ephesians 5, before he gets to the household passage there in Ephesians 6, and he says this, "Therefore be imitators of God as beloved children, and walk in love as Christ loved us and gave Himself up for us, a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God." And then he says in verse 8, "Walk as children of light, and try to discern what is pleasing to the Lord." And then he says this in verse 16, "Make the best use of the time, because the days are evil." Let's make the best use of the time. Let's seize the opportunity and get on the other side of this and be able to look back and say, I didn't do that perfectly. I may not even have done it well, but I tried to learn what the Lord wanted me to learn in the midst of it. And I worked on patience. I worked on love. I worked on kindness. I took a breath when I wanted to erupt in anger. I returned a kind word when someone said something mean to me in the house. I washed the dishes an extra time because I wanted to serve. Just seize the opportunity. Let's get on the other side of this and say we've grown in Christ.